My name is Henry Hoffman and I'm the project leader for Angry Mango. I'm an artist mainly. I'm proficient at Photoshop, Maya, 3ds Max, Blender and Flash. Um, I've also had some experience managing a small to medium sized team of people when I worked as a web designer down in Norwich for a web design studio. And yeah, this is our team.
Hi there, my name is Aaron Zaman. I'm one of the programmers at the team. I've actually worked with quite a lot of bits of software, and especially when it comes to programming languages. But I mainly specialise in C Sharp, so XNA does actually fall into that. I have worked quite a lot with C++, and I have made a couple of games in Java as well. All around, I like to think that I'm a very confident programmer. I have actually worked with quite a few mobile devices, as well as programming games for the Xbox and the PC. I participated in X48 along with Henry, who's actually on this team as well, and Greg, who's also on this team. I'm currently working on another game which is part of my uni project, where I'm actually working with three other members of this team. So I like to think that's a very good base to sort of start off from. Yeah, thanks.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm a designer on Team Angry Mango. I've worked on all aspects of production during my course at uni, but my main focus is character and environment design. I've got a wide range of software skills, and my previous work experience includes both coding and artwork for CBBC Interactive, Caldecott High School, and various privately commissioned games.
Hi, my name's Gregory O'Brien. I'm a third year student doing games development and artificial intelligence at University of Newport, Wales. My experience is with C++, Java and C Sharp, working in the XNA games development studio. I've worked in a team before with Ahmed, making games for X48 and for the Game Jam. For my dissertation, I'm working in XNA, creating a genetic algorithm that works in real time to populate a generation of enemies which react to what the player does.
Hi, my name is Matthew Dennis. I am a programmer of the team. I have experience in C++, C Sharp, in XNA, and I've worked with technologies with the PC and Xbox 360.
Hi there. I would just like to talk you through some of our initial concept ideas towards programming this game. Basically, we've actually broken it down into a few chunks that we need to seriously have a look at and analyze and see if they're actually going to be it's going to serve our purpose. First thing that we were looking at was the physics engine. We had a range of different physics engines to actually choose from. The two that we've actually brought it down to is Bullet Physics and Jello Physics. They both are very well known, and they are both the good engines, definitely good engines. Those are going to be the two that we really have a look at and see if they're going to serve our purpose. One thing that we are also looking at with the graphics, really, because we've got a range of different things that we need to look at when it comes to graphics. The first thing that really struck our mind was the actual character animations, the character that the player actually controls. Now that'll be dependent. Its animations will actually be dependent on the physics engine. Hopefully, we'll try and implement, or we will implement, a ragdoll, 2D ragdoll effect on our character, just to add a bit more life to the character itself. One thing that we were also looking at when it comes to the backgrounds was the parallax itself. So we'll have parallax backgrounds, so that basically it's going to be a looping parallax, just to make the game world a bit more sort of realistic looking, a bit just a lot nicer to look at. Basically, adds a bit more to the environment mainly. The backdrop that we'll have as well. We were just thinking about either having it 3D or 2D. That's something that we'll be discussing with the team anyway. But the backdrops, the way they actually appear on screen, and the way they appeared off screen and brought onto screen, that's something that we'll be discussing, and we're trying to look at some code and on how to do that as well. Sprite animations for interactive objects and characters in the game world. Basically, sprite animations are we feel that are really important, because not everything would necessarily have to be put through the physics engine anyway. So technically, we could have sprite animations that do different things, or if you wanted to move a character from A to B sort of thing. So that would be covered quite nicely in sprite animations. The next thing that we were looking at as well with the interactions, mainly because our game mechanic is emotion control, and how we would actually affect how we would interact with our player to change the emotions. For example, we're looking at shaking the phone to anger it, and obviously this is going into the phone, but other ways of interacting with the character would actually be thought of and implemented. Obviously this will be going through with the accelerometer on the phone, so that's something that we need to look at and look at how the accelerometer would actually work, and how we can test it. The other thing is we need to look at thumbsticks, and depending on how much we move them and how we move them, would actually mean something different, or it would do something different with the character that we're playing as. Mouse interaction, this would literally be like as it sounds, click, drag, or just clicking here and there. This would actually also work really well on the phone, regardless. And I say that because basically the pointer on the phone is literally like a mouse. We could actually touch different parts of the screen, and it would mean something else. And this would definitely be the mouse interaction would definitely be something linking into the multi-touch system that is on the phone, and we'll be looking at that system to actually create expressions. Also, one last thing that we're looking at when it comes to interactions and emotion controls is basically sound input, and we're thinking that basically you can actually say something or shout something into the microphone, and that would affect an emotion. So for example, we could actually shout into the microphone, and it would probably scare our player, and that would be a different mechanic added to the game world itself. Obviously, when it comes to sound input as well as output, we need to start looking at some sound and working with sound waves. Most of us have experience with working with sound waves. It's all about getting this right, and we'll be looking at the perfect technologies and what sort of file sizes, so on and so forth, to actually start working with, and creating the best sound for our game when it comes to output as well as input. And obviously we'll need to start looking at some playback code, or simply just some code that cuts out any issues that we may have with sound. Also, one thing that we're looking at was again, this falls into interactions, and that's the orientation of the phone. Now this is phone specific. Basically, turning the phone itself, what would it affect the actual gravity of the game world? So, for example, if we turn it upright, would the character start falling downwards, as though he was interacting with the game world, moving around, sort of thing. Or we could actually play with the orientation and actually implement it to movement. So, when I say orientation, I actually did. It does fall into tilting the phone as well. So if we tilt the phone to the right, the movement, it would start moving the characters to the right, and then same goes with the left. The last thing that we're looking at as well is the game itself and how it will be set when it comes to load screens and menus. Would we need a load screen or not, depending on how much information and how many graphics and so on and so forth we'll have in our game. This was something that we're really looking at when it comes to the phone itself. Perhaps it'll need to load quite a lot of things into memory, so on and so forth. So we'll definitely be this will be definitely something that we're using when we're testing, and seeing if it is necessary or not. Obviously, a menu would definitely be there, but the way the menu works, for example, if you've left the game mid-game and you want to come back to it, would it launch the menu, or would it take you straight to where you started? Again, when you actually if you pause, what part of the menu does come up, or if you exit, what does it say, and so on and so forth. So it's literally the user interface that we want to start looking at as well, seeing how nicely it could be implemented, especially on the PC, but more importantly on the phone as well as the Xbox as well. So this is mainly what we've been looking at. I'm sure that this diagram would actually be increasing in size as different things come up. and we're definitely going to be looking at everything here and considering it at least. We'll sort out any issues that we might have with it. Thanks for watching.
Hi guys, now that you've met our team and you know a little bit more about what we're about, what our sort of skills are, I'll tell you a bit more about our pitch for the game idea. So, you stretch and squash your way through the eclectic world of Movera, contorting your character to empathise a range of emotions, each emotion enacting as a new game mechanic. Float with happiness through spiky caverns, angrily plough through dense trees, sink like a stone with sadness and other mechanics from the wheel of emotion. This zany platformer takes full advantage of touchscreen and accelerometer technology, with you literally stretching Mushy's facial features with your thumbs or shaking him into a rage. So, that's our game idea, and we hope you like it. Look forward to speaking to you.